Hi Taurus, this is your reading for June. You may want to put headphones on while you listen to this reading to make sure that you minimize any distractions. I want to make sure that you get the most out of your time here with me. So while I'm shuffling, please check in with your higher self and your guides. Ask them to reach out to me and connect with my higher self and guides so that we can create a feedback loop. That way we can be sure that the messages that you receive are tailored for you. Okay, let's take a look here. You have two fours at the heart of the reading. The Four of Pentacles in reverse, crossed by the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands is also in reverse. So there could be some energy this month around changes, movement of energy, physical location could be an issue, like you may be unexpectedly moving, or maybe you've already known that you were planning to move, and that could be something that's happening this month. I see that also with the Six of Swords at the crowning card position of the reading in reverse. Could also suggest some movement or some travel or some changes in a physical way. But there's also something here about changes, being that you have the Justice in reverse at the foundation of the reading. There's also Judgment, the Magician card, both upright, and the Hangman in reverse in your reading. It could be something here about, there could be some changes to legal agreements or some contracts or documents. There may be some changing of minds or changing of will. I'm hearing for some people. You may be, if you're dealing with like preparing insurance or you know anything legally related. There could be something that if you had already set it in place before, you might be making some changes to the fine print, or some details may be getting altered around this time. What else is here is that you have two pages in your reading. Page of Pentacles is in reverse and Page of Swords is upright. Again, this energy makes me feel like there could be some movement, especially with the Page of Pentacles in reverse here. He's with the Queen of Wands in reverse as well. Some of you may be getting communication this month. Some of you might be actually the person who is giving that communication, whether that's to, like for some of you with this Magician here paired with the Page of Swords, some of you may be preparing, I'm hearing instigator. Some of you might be actually preparing for a kind of, you might be getting some, like getting yourself together, getting some ritual tools and prayers and thoughts together for creating some kind of manifestation. Like this energy I'm feeling is a little bit more etheric and spiritual. It's less kind of earthly, mundane stuff. But some of you may be in a process right now where you are wishing to create specific outcomes in your life, and you might be looking to prepare spells or magic rituals to create some type of invocation that will manifest something for you that you're looking to create. You also have here in your reading the Fool reverse with the Five of Wands in reverse. So the major arcana cards that you have in your spread is really interesting. You have 0, the Fool, 1, the Magician, 11, Justice, 20, Judgment, and number 12, the Hangman. The Hangman is in reverse here, as is with the Justice and the Fool. So those three cards in reverse, and then Magician and Judgment upright. It definitely feel like there could be some upheaval as far as like a change in a, like if there was an agreement made previously around something, either to do with property or your business or something like that, like depending what you do. There is there's something here about changes to agreements that is making for some of you it could be a little bit of an upheaval. For some of you it's actually very beneficial and it's in your favor. Like there's some, you may be going back over things to kind of refine agreements that you've made with someone, whether or not that you're actually dealing with legal documents or not. There could be something here about going back to review conversations and agreements made, whether or not this is with someone that you may have had a conflict with in the past. I feel that for some of you there is a little bit of that energy where you may be coming back together with someone that you have had a disagreement with, and there may have been space between you, and you might be kind of coming back together to renegotiate or to I'm hearing compromise. That could be also what the Hangman there is saying. I feel that there's a little bit of energy of renegotiation and compromisation, and I'm hearing consideration. There's definitely a returning energy here with this Six of Swords in reverse as the crowning card position. You're going. Some of you are going back. Maybe you're turning back an agreement. Maybe you're changing your mind. Some of you are refining ideas or agreements or contracts. Some of you are. Some of you with this this is Eight of Wands. Eight of Cups energy. There's definitely movement here for some of you with these two cards. Whether that's physical travel or some kind of change in regards to, as I said, agreements that have been made in the past or conversations that you've had in the past that you may need to revisit in order to refine your conclusions or refine your agreements or renegotiate or compromise in some way around some agreements that have been made in the past. Now, let's have a look at the bottom of the deck. Temperance reversed with Ten of Pentacles, Ten of Cups reversed, and King of Swords. King of Swords is in reverse. There's also the Star here. I'm going to take that. The Temperance, I feel, the Temperance card in reverse, I feel, is an extension of this Hangman energy with the, like all the major arcana cards here in the reading. I feel this belongs to it. And I would say that there is this, it's very, I'm a Taurus, so this reading is for me too. I'm not really thrilled about this reading. But as I said, it doesn't necessarily have to be a negative reading. It could certainly be, renegotiation can definitely be something that works to your advantage. If there's some detail in your agreements with someone in the past that you now maybe feel differently about because as maybe changes in the outcome of like something unfolding, it could definitely be to your advantage to take the time to kind of go back over, even if it's not necessarily an easy task to undertake. It could bring about definitely a greater beneficial outcome for not just you but all parties, right? But there's definitely, with this Five of Wands, Eight of Cups, Six of Swords, definitely kind of a returning energy for some of us. For others, this feels like something about property or marriage or home life. But dealing with some legal things this month with the Justice reverse and Judgment upright. And Temperance as well in reverse here. I feel also it's kind of speaking with the Hangman with regards to compromising and accepting and reconciling and kind of going over agreements to make for a more pleasing and more mutually beneficial outcome for the parties involved. And then, yeah, Ten of Cups reversed with the Ten of Pentacles here. Again, this kind of feels to me like if there are some issues with the home life, if there's some upheaval at home or some changes in the home, it's kind of telling here that there could be for some of the people watching this reading, like if there's a marriage or relationship or partnership or home, real estate, something going on with that, there is definitely some need for kind of coming together to communicate. I'm hearing compromise, sharing resources, and making the resources be more available for everyone to kind of get their fair share, to make sure everyone has what they need and everyone's kind of covered and doing well. I like that the final card here is a Star in the upright. It's giving a very beneficial feeling to this reading, making me feel like, even though it may feel like a little difficult time to kind of go through this, the outcome will be very very good because it's this star card is kind of like watching over, and there's a guided feeling here of like, you know, celestial energy, minding what's going on, like minding the business, let's say. That's what I feel. So this is making me feel like there ought to be like a progressive approach to what's going on here, and a consistency, and a I'm hearing wherewithal, but what I'm feeling here is that you need to make sure that you see this through in completion, in entirety, and make sure that there's clarity to the end, and that everyone understands everything, and that all the conversations that need to be had are had, and all the communication is clear, and everybody is understanding what's going on, to make sure this is kind of like wrapped up in the most complete way possible. I feel that's it for the reading. I'm just checking over here. Yeah. I'm going to take the Voyager deck now. I'm going to take the Voyager deck, shuffle again. We're going to do another reading, a higher octave reading of using the Voyager deck, using the same spread. This is designed to give a little bit more insight into what's happening and why and how it's unfolding, to provide more insight into how to best work with the energies that are at play, to how to make the best of the opportunity that we're facing. So while I'm shuffling, please send your energy over into the deck. Man of Crystals, it's the same as this King of Swords here. Crossed by Two of Worlds, which we have also in this reading already. Two of Worlds. Emperor. Death reversed. Ten of Wands. Seven of Worlds reversed. Five of Wands reversed. The Sun. Sage of Cups. The Fool, now coming out twice. Chariot. Hierophant reversed, Man of Wands, and Strength reversed. Okay. This spread feels a little bit less tense and less dramatic and less worrisome, I must say. There's something here about definitely changes in the landscape of your maybe agreements. Again, similar to before, like there's some agreements that are being reviewed, let's say. And maybe that has something to do with you having just changed your mind simply. But this guiding energy of the Emperor at the crowning card of the reading is feeling very proactive, I'm hearing. So I feel like the Emperor and the Hierophant are both in this reading. The Emperor's upright and the Hierophant is in reverse. When I see both of these cards coming out together, there can be sometimes an energy of like a little bit of overbearing, kind of controlling. But being that the Hierophant is reversed here, I feel that there is something about just being, again, just like changing your mind about your agreements that you might have made. Because the Hierophant can be about commitment. But I feel that change is actually regenerative. It's not a negative thing. It's actually bringing a regenerative energy to the scenario here, so that people are kind of having a fresh, you particularly, but whoever, if there's other people involved in this story here, it's giving everybody kind of a fresh start. That's what I feel. Yeah. In some ways, the changing agreements is actually giving people a little bit more room to move, and it's giving a bit of space from that, what could be overbearing or over domineering or oppressive energy that could be what some of you may be experiencing. But I like that the Fool and the Chariot are here as the outcome cards of the reading. It sort of says to me that, again, there's a renewal here, there's a freshness, there's the chance for a new beginning. There could be some travel as well that comes with this experience. I'm hearing freedom and fortune. So, yeah, don't be intimidated by that previous reading with regards to, you know, the legal implications that might be pending for some of you. It's definitely like, you know, you have the Sun here in the reading as well, upright, with Man of Wands. And there's also strength here. So I do feel that there is like something, I'm hearing opportunistic. There's a goodness underneath here. Like needn't feel, you know, as I said, intimidated by any legal implications here, because I do feel that it's for the best. You know, whatever changes are happening here, I feel it's for the best. I feel there's a loosening of a kind of grip of tension that may have been in a situation for some time, and that loosening is creating a bit more space for everyone to breathe a bit more easily and have a little bit more space to and freedom to move around in the way they need to. Let's have a look at the bottom of the deck. Devil's Play, Seven of Cups reversed, Woman of Wands reversed, and Ace of Crystals reversed. This is telling me that if there is some fear or anxiety that it may be either hidden in the environment or hidden in the circumstance, that could be just needs to be overcome, and that a positive approach needs to be taken to whatever circumstances you're dealing with here, with a kind of clarity of mind to enable the energy to move out of like what feels like a little bit trying and uncomfortable, in order to transform and alchemize the situation into something that is much more mutually beneficial. Yeah, on the central axis of the reading here, you have Ten of Wands, which is called growth in this deck. Moving across to the breakthrough card. So definitely like a spurt or an uprising or a leap into, and you have the Fool there as well. But again, it's an interesting energy I'm feeling. Like there is some difficulty and challenge around what's going on at this time, but it's definitely feeling like it's worth it, and it's bringing all parties involved to a higher perspective on the situation, where everyone can breathe a little bit more easily. Everyone has a little bit more room to be themselves, and there's a kind of comfort that comes at the end of what feels like a little bit of a struggle. But it seems like it's worth it. And again, having that Star card coming out in the previous reading, and also the Chariot and the Fool here, and the Emperor, it all feels very guided. It feels very timely as well. And it feels like it could be actually, this could be the end of a long period of something difficult for some of you, where the result will actually be finally giving you opportunities that you've been kind of calling in, that may have been a little bit behind closed doors. That's what I'm feeling. Like the opportunities that may have been behind closed doors will now be able to be revealed to you, and you'll have access to things as a result of this kind of shift in agreements, or shift in contracts, or changes to your agreements or dynamic with other people that you felt maybe a little bit bound by. Okay. Yeah, let's check over here. But I feel that that's for the reading, kind of very succinct this month. There's definitely a situation transforming here, one where there could be some movement, physical or otherwise, but where it's going to land in the end is I feel very beneficial and very stable. Okay, so it's bringing you to a greater stability. So yeah, definitely worthwhile to put the effort in and make sure that you see all the details through with real discernment and precision, and making sure that all the points are clear for everyone involved. I'm hearing activation. Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much for watching. It's an honor and a pleasure to read for you. I hope you found something in there that you can work with. There's playlists on your screen now for all the Taurus readings from previous months, and then also the playlist for June for 2019. So check out other signs. Click on anything that you feel intuitively guided towards, because they're all really good, timeless wisdom, and you'll find something worthwhile no matter which video you watch. So check out whichever one you feel called to. Thanks for your subscription. Hit the notification bell so you can find out when new videos are being uploaded. And I will see you in the next reading.